Why is it that I refuse to go to the church of that Eneche?
Okay.
I told him, you are not ready. Before I go to your church, I want you to listen to 200 of my messages. I will not go to your church, and your church needs to be ready and prepared.
If not,
if I come, I will scatter the whole place, and I don't want to do it so that you people will not say I'm coming to destroy. He used to call me here every week. That Paul, he calls me here on my phone every week until I to remove it. Pray for me, man of God. He's a good man. But if he will not go through the process and the discipline of training himself, submitting himself to learn, but he cannot, because his allegiance is to Oyedepo. Yeah. He doesn't want to get him offended. He's, the same thing with many others like Samadeh, all of them. They want to say, okay, Pastor, we are learning from you. We want to learn. We want to do this, but they are afraid of what their daddies will say, because the culture is such that you have to be subservient.
Yeah.
And this subservient culture is caged them. They want to please. They are men pleasers too. So I just need to go and do it this way. But they don't like it to do it this way, because that is our culture. Our culture is to put everything under the carpet. But we've got to break that culture. That is why, I have great regard for what Showore is doing. He's breaking the political culture. Is altering it. It's not going to be very, very difficult for him to break, but it's altering it. It's challenging it, shaking the table politically. That's exactly how to do everything in Nigeria. We've got to do everything directly opposite of the culture. But our people are bound by the culture. So once you do anything against the culture, they say you are against us. But that is what they said that my books are not theological. That's what somebody told me yesterday. I just had that new one yesterday. I never even knew what from. It's just yesterday I got to know that one. Why should it be theological? Am I a theologian? I'm not here for it to be theological. I want to alter the culture. That's what they want me to just write something theological that doesn't touch anybody. You shouldn't touch them. You shouldn't touch their church. You shouldn't touch. You just be theological. I'm not interested in being theological. I want to turn the table. That's what I'm interested in.
The table shaker.
Yes, sir.
Well, guys, I'm sure that, big thanks to you, Dr. Sunday, for answering that question in that depth and in being very explicit, because I think that really opened my eyes to, and I want to hope it opened the eyes of people who are listening also. Because I remember I started this show with the comments of some people on YouTube who were saying that you are destabilizing, criminalizing, and everything, and I brought that comment just to help our viewers to understand why we need to share it, because that person is captive. That person people like that who write these comments, they are enslaved by some,
and they are not even aware,
and they're not aware of it. All right. So they are enslaved, they are there in those religious dogmas mixed with cultural myth and all of that. And they're blind. And that is the reason why we need to get these messages out to them. We need to free them so that they can help their GEOs. Because the GEOs and the pastors, they might not get the change unless they experience the pain of people leaving their ministries.
Well, talking about burden though, I know that a lot of these GEOs have burdens. And most of at least the senior ones, the real ones, the ones that I met, that I knew, they were people of burden. And some of them still have burden to today. But the burden they have is subject to the understanding they have. So the understanding of the gospel they have is such that the gospel is about fivefold ministry. And their own understanding of fivefold ministry is that God has called me to do a ministry, a church. And that is my own ministry. And that's my responsibility. So all their burden is about their church. That is on one hand. Then the other one they have is, the understanding they have of the gospel is that the gospel is basically the gospel of salvation. So they totally leave out the gospel of the kingdom. So since it's only the gospel of salvation that they know, now every burden they have is only connected to getting people saved. Not the one you are talking about bringing the righteousness of God or the burden and mourning for the land. They don't have that as they are, because they are thinking my own calling to my own ministry. So everybody wants to become a god and a little idol in their own empire.
You know, I love what you said about understanding. You know, there was a time where we had a discussion, and I kind of imbibed that line that you said, that you've encountered superior knowledge and you've been fortified with understanding. And for me, that became one of my greatest, that's like one of my greatest quote of yours. Yeah, because it's just like I'm in a pursuit of encountering that superior knowledge and fortifying myself with understanding, because I understand that I can't live and I can't function beyond the level of my knowledge and understanding. And speaking of what you just said now about the understanding of the gospel in Nigeria, God is concerned about souls, and so and they say go and win a soul, go out and evangelism, go and win a soul, and it's all about getting somebody to come to church. So you're going to preach to somebody, and that's the reason why you had a conversation with someone who was from Christ Embassy, and he was saying that in Christ Embassy, if you go out for evangelism and you speak to somebody and the person gives life to Jesus Christ, you can't say go and look for a Bible believing church to that
near you.
You can't say that. Why can't you say that?
Because when I was growing up in Africa, that's the only thing people used to say. They never used to say, come to my church in particular. They used to say, go look for a Bible-believing church near you.
But what do we have today? You have to come to my own church. You understand? Even the way it is right now is that, even, for example, if I attend Christ Embassy and you attend God Embassy, so I will go and be ministering to God Embassy members and be telling them that, you see, you guys should come and see my pastor. Come to our church. My pastor, and if you hear him preach. So what we're doing is that we're going to look for other church folks, telling them to come to our church. Just that's what we have in Christianity today. Cross carpets, like we have in politics.
If you have been watching our videos and maybe you enjoy them, maybe you don't enjoy them, but still, we need you to help us spread the word. And for that to happen, we only need you to take 5 little steps. Please help us spread this word by liking the video. Then, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We also need you to press the notification button, and the way to do that is to click on the bell. You see the bell there? Click on it. Then, of course, leave your comments. Let's know what you're thinking about each video. And finally, we need you to go and share the word. Share this video on your Facebook timeline, on your Instagram, and every other platform that you have. All right? Let's win the world for Christ. Thank you so much. Peace.